So today we're working on a 1964 El Camino. It had some severe water leaks coming into the floorboards on both sides, the passenger and the driver's side. And what we found was a couple of things. We found that there was a lot of damage up inside the window where the window was sitting inside of the cavity to hold the window into place. Um, there was a lot of damage up in the corners, the driver corner and the passenger corner, and so we got all that fixed. So we used DevCon up in there, and that took care of all of the leaks down inside the window. And then from there, we noticed after we got that sealed, then we had another leak on the side where the air vents were. So we had Vintage Air system in here, and they give you some very nice cavities that go inside the side of the kick panel, and they also give you a little cavity that goes inside the fender well. So what was happening is the water was running down the side of the firewall and into the fender well, and it was dripping down inside of the passenger side, and it was a massive amount of water. I mean, it was like an inch thick, to just run right in. So what we did is we took a piece of metal and formed a little cavity that set up inside the top of the firewall that sealed everything. We noticed that we were getting water inside the car and on the very bottom floorboards, and found that the way that the lines are put through the side of the kick panels, they have this special little grommet that goes inside here when you buy the Vintage Air unit, and the hoses go through it. But what happens is, because the water comes from the top of the car and off the window, it flows into the air vents holes, where the water just sort of runs right on top of the air vents, right over the top of the kick panels, and then runs right inside the side of the car, back in this corner right here. So the water just fills up in here. So the way we corrected that was we took a plate, and I'll show you this. We used, it's an 032, just flat regular sheet metal, and just cut out a 18-inch by 10-inch piece, and basically made a little bender just by getting a piece of square tubing, putting it here, and clamping it on both sides, and then just clamping it down and then beating it so we can get a little nice edge on it. And basically, so what this does is, this is inch and a half here, and this from here to here is 7 inches. And then because what's going to happen is, this is just going to press down inside the where the water's been hitting in the against the firewall, and what the hell's that thing called? Firewall, and we're right below the windshield wipers. So we're going to put this in here. We're going to snap it in here like this. We're going to put in some Flex Seal first. Press this down. Slide it all the way to the edge of the fender, and then pop rivet it in, and then reflex seal it back up. And then what will happen is, this will be in here like this, and the water will run down, and it will run over the top of the wires closest to the edge of the fender. All right, so and this is the mock-up finished product that we're going to install, and we'll put a pop rivet there, one and one up here, and then put it in. So right here is where the window was coming off, or the water was coming off the window, and water was running down inside here and running down inside around the fender. So what we did is we cut this hole out here. That's how we figured out where the water was actually coming from, and figured out that this plate needed to be put in here. We needed to make a plate like a funnel, so that the water starts from the top and runs all the way to the edge of the fender well. So this plate Goes in here like this. Like that. Push it over. When the water comes down, it runs all the way back to this panel instead of hitting the hoses and then running back up underneath those grommets and into the car. And like I said, we're going to put the flex seal on the bottom of this, and then then put the pop rivets, and then put flex seal on top, and then it'll be like one flat seal in there. Now we're at the finishing stages of this El Camino and the leaks. So what we did here is we took that plate that we made and we pop riveted. We put one in the firewall, one down through the center, and then one against the frame of the window. And we put the flex seal on the bottom, put the plate, pop riveted, and then flex sealed over the top. And now the plate runs from here right up into there. If you can see that right there. Okay? So now when the water comes down, I'm going to dump a little water in there. I'm going to move that back a little bit. So that comes down like that. You can see this thing. Get off it. Water comes down just like that. Goes right around the hoses and misses the hole inside of the grommets where the water was leaking from. And that's it. That's the tips for trying to seal these El Caminos up. We'll be working on Chevys and El Caminos and Fords and Buicks and all kinds of stuff in the future. So follow me on YouTube. We've got a 70 Nova that I've been working on for a little bit. It's a chop 70 Nova. Done quite a bit of work on it, and hopefully it you keep tuning in, and you can see all the different things I've done over the years and go from there.
Thank you.
Thanks.